Okay, so she admitted even she would have picked a higher number here. But while the major averages are hitting new all-time highs, at least most of them, let's take a quick look at the 10-year Treasury yield. It dropped to session lows of 1.48% just after the jobs report was released. That is pretty much to be expected because it's a fear trade. Perhaps people jump back into treasuries at that moment and the yield moves inversely to the actual price. But you can see it is back up to 1.566% at this hour. This leaves everybody guessing, is the recovery really still on track? And what consequences will this have on the stocks you own in your portfolio as we look ahead? To our floor show traders, Tom Hayes and Kenny Polcari. Kenny, you know, we're going to talk to the Paychex CEO in just a few minutes. He was expecting more than $1 million. So this is a big surprise, but I'm wondering whether we'll see a revision further down the road that says, oh, wait, sorry, we were wrong. We did see a much bigger number here.
I'd like to think we're going to see revision because this number, it's almost ridiculous how off this number could be, considering the whisper number was closer to 1.2 million, and most analysts you'd speak to was that they were at $1 million or higher. I mean, I also expected better than $1 million. So when the number came out this morning, I almost had to go like this again and wash my eyes and look at the screen to make sure that I saw what I saw, because the number was so off. And so I will say the one thing Janet Yellen said today was, you know, 1 month doesn't make a trend. I think you're going to see revisions to this number like we do every month. When you see revisions to number, we saw it last month. Yes, they revised down 200,000 from the plus 900 we got, but the month before they revised up 200,000. So net you're at a zero, right? Because 1 month goes up, the other month goes down by the same amount. So really you're at zero. I don't know what we're going to see next month, but I just think this number was so off that you almost have to disregard it completely. I will say I do understand why the market took off, because right away they all jumped on the idea that, you know, this recovery isn't anywhere near where they said it is, and the Fed's not going anywhere, and low interest rates for longer and more money for longer, and the government's going to come out. And Joe Biden's going to he's going to push a $7 trillion plan just because now he's going to be able to use this one data point to try to tell his story, which I think is a complete, I think it's completely misguided.
Right, right. Well, Tom, you know, and Kenny, I'll get back to you on this, but Tom, give me your thoughts on which sectors you're still betting on despite this number. Which names do you still love here?
Well, Liz, I think this had two consequences. To Kenny's point, I think President Biden will use it to push through the $4.1 trillion. Powell will use it to push off tapering from Q4 to Q1. But tech has been taken out behind the woodshed and shot in the last 2 months. I think this sets the stage, the slower growth than expected, to finally get a bid in some of those tech stocks that are down. And we've added some new positions here that we like for the summer that have just been beaten down. And, you know, I always like to say Wall Street is the only place when they hold a clearance sale, no one shows up. So I've got two bargain basements for summer because of this report. First is Splunk. It's a tech stock. It's down 50% from its recent highs. They're moving from a licensing model to a subscription model. It's been a little bumpy, but it's getting some traction. Cloud revenues were up 83% last quarter. So now we like tech. And the second one is Baba. That's 30% off of recent highs. It's down because the Ant IPO was delayed. We think that's going to get pushed through in coming months. That's worth $300 billion. Baba owns a third of that, plus their platform is growing and their international expansion is very positive. And happy Mother's Day, Liz.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, you know what? You're right. Listen, things are on sale. Buy those if you think that the businesses are still really, really kick butt. That would be Alibaba for sure. Kenny